پوشالی برای احساس آرامش برای خورشید.
Saffron Reign. 나와서 많은 이야기를 해드릴 텐데요. 그 전에 먼저 간단하게 소개를 해드리겠습니다. 세프론은 이란 사회의 인권 운동을 소재로 예술 활동을 하는 드래그 킹입니다. Saffron is a drag king that uses art to raise awareness and render voice to those fighting for human rights in Iran. Okay? So I urge you, please, let's really listen to them. 다 같이 경청합시다. 네, 감사합니다.
Hello, my name is Saffron Reign. I'm an Iranian American drag king. I've been performing in Seoul for 6 years. As I'm sure many of you are aware, there's currently a revolution happening in Iran that started last September, and it still continues today. I've been dedicating my performances to the Iranian people and their fight for freedom, to all the people suffering in Iran, and to all the Iranians in diaspora, like myself, who are unable to return home. For 44 years, the people of Iran have lived under a repressive dictatorship that stands on a twisted and extreme interpretation of Islam. All people in Iran are required to follow these laws, whether they are Muslim or not. The current revolution began after the death of a young woman who died in police custody. She'd been arrested for improperly wearing her mandatory hijab. What started as anti-mandatory hijab protests have since grown into a full-blown anti-dictatorship revolution. The Iranian people are fighting for their human rights and for their freedom. Tonight I'm going to be performing 2 songs. The first is a song by Shervin Hajipur and was released shortly after the protests first started. A few weeks after it was released, Shervin was arrested and was forced to apologize for inciting protests with his lyrics before being released on bail. The song has since become an anthem for the revolution in Iran. It actually won a Grammy earlier this year for Best Song for Social Change, but he was unable to attend the award ceremony because the government didn't allow him to. Since his arrest, Shervin Hajipur has been silenced on social media, likely through threats of torture and violence to his family, both of which are common oppressive tactics used by the regime. The song itself is called Baraye, which means for or because of. Its lyrics are composed of tweets by everyday Iranian people stating the reasons for their protests. The song refers to laws that ban women from dancing, that ban couples from kissing, and even ban dogs in public. I hope you'll see that this revolution is about so much more than just the mandatory hijab laws.
برای توی کوچه رقصیدن، برای ترسیدن به وقت بوسیدن، برای خواهرم، خواهرت، خواهرامون، برای تغییر مغزها که پوسیدن، برای شرمندگی، برای بیپولی، برای حسرت یک زندگی معمولی، برای کودک زبالگرد و آرزوهاش، برای این اقتصاد دستوری، برای این هوای آلوده، برای ولیعصر و درختای فرسوده، برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش، برای سگهای بیگناه ممنوعه، برای گریه های بیوقفه، برای تصویر تکرار این لحظه، برای چهره ای که میخنده، برای دانش آموزا، برای آینده، برای این بهشت اجباری، برای نخبه های زندانی، برای کودکان افغانی، برای این همه برای غیر تکراری، برای این همه شعارهای تو خالی، برای آوار خونه های پوشالی، برای احساس آرامش، برای خورشید پس از شب من آبادی برای دختری که آرزو داشت پسر بود برای زن زندگی آزادی برای آزادی برای آزادی برای آزادی
The second song I'm going to be doing is called Shalot. It came out a few months before the revolution started, actually. It's a rap song by the dissident rapper Tumar Salehi, who was first arrested in 2021 for his lyrics. After the start of the current revolution, Tumar went into hiding and continued to release music, but last October he was found and arrested. He has now spent over 8 months in solitary confinement, where he's been subject to brutal torture. Tumaj has been charged with 5 crimes, including one that's called corruption against God, which carries the death penalty in Iran. If he is convicted and executed, he will become the 8th protester to be hanged by the government since the start of this revolution. I'm performing this song tonight specifically to raise awareness for Tumar Salehi. The only thing that has kept him alive so far has been international outcry. You can render your support by using the hashtag #TooMuchSalehi to help bring attention to his story on social media. You may be wondering, what good can a hashtag do? But the Iranian regime really is known to lessen charges and sometimes even release prisoners who get enough international attention. It has worked in the past. It worked with Shavin Hajipur, that's how he was released on bail. Please, please, please get involved to help Tumaj and save his life.
با این نسل نمیتونید در بیفتید. این نسل یه نسل شیک، یه نسل تیز، یه نسل تازه نمیرفته با سازی با سازه ما نمیسازه. نسلی که جواب سلام فرمانده‌تم نداده به شما بیاراده میگم به اونا نسل کامل. زن آمده کنار همین یه اختاریه داره گشت ارشادتون میره بوک ترافیک نمیبره چیره خاره اینجا هزار بی نقابه کف خیابونیم ولی ببین صدا میره تا به شیراز داناشناسی که اعلامیه داد این بار موی آزاد میرفته توی بازی باد قانونی که پا میذاره رو تو بذار زیر پاد با اختیار زندگی کن بگو حجابی حجاب حجابی حجاب 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 حجابی حجاب حجابی حجاب 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 حجابی حجاب با اختیار زندگی کن بگو حجابی حجاب حجابی حجاب 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 حجابی حجاب اونی که دست تحقیقی راه وقتش پس بدی موی آزاد میده نقشتی که تمام گرانه تحقیقی تا بانانه ولی باشه میگیم میسودیم ولی ستاره میشیم نه قانون و نه آیه دین آزادی رو توی تاره حجابی حجاب 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 حجابی حجاب حجابی حجاب 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 حجابی حجاب یه نسل شیک یه نسل تیز یه نسل تازه نمیرسه با سازی با سازه ما نمیسازه.
So the slogan for this revolution is Women Life Freedom, Zan Zendegi Azadi in Persian. It's a fight for the Iranian people, but also a fight for freedom all over the world. When the Islamic regime first came into power 44 years ago, the first started with a law to make hijab mandatory, but this was only the first step. The Islamic regime has now ultimate control over the Iranian people. This is an issue that transcends Iran and also transcends religion. We are seeing a rise in religious extremism and fundamentalism around the world. Fascism of all persuasions looks to the Islamic regime as a blueprint of what to do. The rights of women, of queer people, of immigrants, and of other marginalized groups are in growing jeopardy in so-called democratic countries around the world. To join the fight for freedom in Iran is to join the fight against fascism and religious extremism everywhere. So we need everyone involved. We need everyone involved, especially Koreans involved in this, because the Korean government can do a lot to support the Iranian people. What can you do? Like I said, promote on social media. I'll be outside after the show with leaflets and stickers with how to get involved. Please come talk to me, ask questions. Zan Zendegi Azadi.